A very good evening to Sir and my fellow friends. We are from Group 6 and now we are presenting about the physical facility in a restaurant. So now I'm going to introduce about myself. My name is Tam Pei Jia and my matrix number is 263368. So I'm going to present more detail about the physical facility in a restaurant. So the physical facility in a restaurant can be divided into two parts, which is the front of the house and the back of the house. The front of the house, which have the direct interaction with the guests, consists of the layout and the atmosphere in a restaurant, while the back of the house, which have the less interaction with the guests, consists of space requirement and the workplace design in a restaurant. So a layout of a restaurant depends of the type of the service that offered by the restaurant. For example, Russian service, English service, Italian service, American service, cafeteria service, and also buffet service. So what is table service? Table service is a type of restaurant how food and beverage should be served to the guests in a dining area. And the guests are being served with the table service with the cutlery such as the dishes, glasses, plate, silverware, and also the table linens. So the Russian service is one of the service that a restaurant will provide. So the Russian service involve different style depending on the chef and the host. So often the food is prepared in the kitchen and then each course is brought to the table sequentially and craft and portioned by the waiter, which the guests will also help themselves. However, sometimes the food is prepared and pre-cut in the kitchen and arranged on a platter and is individually served to the guests from the left side. So usually a table is in charge by a waiter. So as the picture presented here, the waiter is portion the course in front of the guests. So a table is in charge by a waiter, like this. So and also served from the left side. So this is the Russian service. And the following one is the English service, and we also call as a butler service. So it's a great way for bringing everyone together and it's fabulous choice for a special event, for example, family dinner or anniversary event. Or when your guests require a higher level interaction from the host. Because this type of service have the high interaction with the waiter, because the waiter bring the food on a platter and show the host for approval, then place the platter on the table. So the host neither can make the food portion themselves or whether the waiter help them to serve the portion. Like the picture presented here, the food is on the platter, so let the guests for the approval and the host can make their portion themselves. The Italian service, which is the French service, is personalized and private service, so the layout of the Italian service is quite big. They need a lot of space because it's a private service. It's expensive and elaborate service commonly used in a fine dining restaurant. It's a formal style of service which the server presents a dish of food individually to guests and the guests help themselves onto their plate. Sometimes the food will be pre-cooked in the kitchen and finished off at the table in front of the guests. So it means that the waiter will cook the food in front of the guests like this, like the picture presented here. We'll cook the food in front of the guests and the guests can see how they cook the food. American service. American service commonly in Malaysia is American service. is also known as a plate service, characteristic by the food being prepared, plated and presented in the kitchen and served to the customer by a waiter. The chef in the kitchen will determine the portion, the size, the accompanying food, and the food presentation before served to the customer. The food will be served quickly and should be served from the right side. Like the female server here, they serve the food from the right side to the guests. The buffet service. The buffet service, the layout of the buffet service depends on the buffet counter. How big is your buffet counter or how long is the buffet counter? In this type of service, the guests get the plates from the steak and goes to the buffet counter where the food is presented with the burner. So the guests usually serve themselves, or the guests can request the server to help them to take the food. And the recommended number of guests for a buffet service, the buffet counter can serve 70 to 75 guests. So the cafeteria service. Cafeteria service is quite common in the canteen. You can see this type of service in canteens, industry, or staff cafeterias, and usually has the limited or fixed menu, and the pricing may or may not be subsidized rate. For example, in the cafeteria service, for 1 meat and 1 vegetables with the rice is 5 ringgit. Sometimes they are not fixed and sometimes they are fixed. If they are not fixed, means that they see the portion you get. And there is limited space with the basic facility. Narrow tables with high tables are often placed to save the space. The layout for such F&B service should be done by a free guest flow. So the front of the house also consists of the atmosphere, right? So the inside the atmosphere also consists about the surface material, the space, the color, the table arrangement, the entertainment, the lighting, and also the furniture. So the table arrangement is set up enough table to accommodate the reservation and the average number of persons without reservation who are expected. The table setting also is the guest's first impression of the dining room. Proper table setting involves the linen, flatware, glassware, and also other accessories. All require the full attention of the professional server. So the table arrangement is important for the first impression to the guest. Because when the guests visit a restaurant, they look in the restaurant look the layout, the table of the restaurant, right? So the table of the arrangement should be neat and look comfortable. The table arrangement should be neat and balanced, and all the tables should be set identically for the uniformly stylish appearance. And these two pictures are the example of the table arrangement in a restaurant. Neat and balanced. Whenever possible, place setting should be positioned so that guests face each other to provide adequate room for each guest. A minimum of 18 inches should be allowed for each setting. So the following one is the furniture. Furniture is the essential in a restaurant, right? And it's also a part of decoration of a restaurant. The kind and the quality of the furniture will largely affect the atmosphere of a restaurant. For example, a coffee shop. The difference between the coffee shop and the fast food restaurant. The chairs and the tables provided in a coffee shop and the fast food restaurant is different. Usually the furniture in the coffee shop is more comfortable compared with the fast food restaurant. So the furniture, for example, table and chairs. For the table arrangement are dedicated by serving needs and the dining area shape. Some is the L shape or L shape or U shape. The layout. The selection of the tables are based on the type of the restaurant. Yeah, means that what service are they provided. Like fast food restaurant, dining restaurant, or coffee shop, they provide the different type of furniture. And for the chairs, the size and the shape of the chairs will vary, but all should be sturdy. It also should be large enough so that the guests can sit comfortably. Like the picture I presented here, this is the sofa. The chair is quite big. Is the furniture from a coffee shop. So the selection of furniture depends on the following points: to match the design and the theme of a restaurant, and the cost and durability of the furniture, and the needs of the establishment, and the standard size of the furniture, and also need to be easy maintained and clean, and the flexibility of the furniture. So if you want to operate a restaurant, before you purchasing a furniture, ask yourself four questions when comparing the option. The first one, does it fit the look and feel of the overall brand? And what type of restaurant do you operate? Like I said, for example, fast food restaurant. The furniture in a fast food restaurant usually quite hard and usually is made of steel or plastic, because fast food restaurant, the customer, after they eat, they will just leave the restaurant. They will not spend a lot of time in the restaurant. If the coffee shop, usually customer will spend a lot of time in a coffee shop. They will do their assignment, discuss about their business, or have meet their clients in the coffee shop. So they will spend a lot of time at your coffee shop. So you need a comfortable and big furniture in your coffee shop, like a sofa. So, and also ask the third question is about how long will the guest stay in your restaurant, like I said, give the example just now. And also, are you focusing on the initial cost or lifestyle cost? So, and also the entertainment will also affect the atmosphere in a restaurant. For example, the entertainment is arcade games, interactive art, photo booth, mystery menu events, wine or whiskey tasting, and also area skills. Entertainment providing the right kind. A restaurant should providing a right kind of entertainment, which can influence the customer enjoyment and also the customer behavior. In a dining situation, the entertainment should complement the overall atmosphere in the operation. In some types of facility, the entertainment may be a major reason why people come in. For example, a restaurant. Usually some restaurant, they will provide a photo booth in a corner, so that every time the customer come in, they will take picture, post in Instagram or post on stories, Facebook, to hashtag that I have went there before, or check in the restaurant. And some, for example, bar, usually they provide wine and whiskey tasting, or some games, matching games, or mystery menu events. And this kind of entertainment will attract the customer to come in and enjoy in your restaurant.
Hi, my name is G. Esther and my merchant number is 262948. So I will continue to explain about space. Early concepts of layout have given way to a field of study known as environmental psychology, which look at the influence of the physical environment on people's behavior. There are four concepts that is particularly important, which are privacy, personal space, territoriality, and overcrowding. Next is the lighting and color. When the patron enters a food service operation, it will create an overall impression, and the lighting is a key element in that first impressions, along with color, sound, and decorations. And there are four basic purposes of the lighting in the restaurant, which is help set the mood of the restaurant, make both customers and food look good. Proper lighting can help the employees to complete their work, and also help provide for the safety and security for the guests. For the surface material, for many restaurant design, architects and owners are choosing natural materials for their space in order to soften the interiors and point back to the natural environment where their food itself is coming from. Because of recent trends towards sustainability and environmental responsibility, the demand for more eco-friendly natural materials for a space has grown even more. So here are the examples of natural surface material in restaurant. So now I will continue to explain about the back of the house space requirement. Proper space measuring will ensure a smooth job and will avoid accident in the kitchen. And the space should be enough to keep equipment and to produce the food. So here are the examples of space for each allocations. So for the workplace design, we have three subtopics, which is the systematic approach, layout of functional areas, and ergonomics. There are 8 criteria in systematic approach, which is workout space, traffic out, work surface space, workstation height, storage, equipment, workplace environment, safety in the workplace. So for the workout space, a workout space is a floor space needed to perform a task. The width of the workout should be 42 inches for one cook and at least 48 inches for the multiple cook. Measurement is done between the counter frontage, tall cabinets, and appliances. The proper size of a workout space is important because to enhance the operating efficiency and also avoid crowded in the kitchen, because staff make a preparation in large quantity, so they will need a big space to perform it. So next one is the traffic aisle. Traffic aisle is also known as foot traffic. It is a walking path where the staff make their way without accidentally crash between each other. It is used for the movement of people and material from storage to production area and to the point of service. The traffic aisle must be spacious enough to carry cart or containers, because everyone is busy with their tasks, and this is a way to reduce danger in the kitchen. And it also needs a proper space of the walking path, because if the aisle is too narrow, employees have difficult time working in space. And if the aisle is too wide, employees need to take extra steps and will cause the fatigue and low productivity. For the work surface space, it's a part where we make a preparations, or we can call it as a production area. It must be more spacious than cooking space because they need it to perform heavy duties. And materials and equipment to be used must be accessible to perform the task easily. And it is also must be spacious so that staff can make maximum hands and arm movement without touching each other. The next one is the workstation height. The height of a workstation is important so that the staff are able to carry cart or container easily and also save their energy. The height of a station is depend on task given. For the lightweight task, it should be higher about 2 inches from the elbow of the staff, and for the large and heavy task, station should be lower to make it easy to pick it up. It should be between 36 to 40 inches from the ground. That's all from me. I will pass the remaining part to my teammate. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Teo Ziyong, and my matrix number is 263650. And I will be continuing to the systematic approach about storage. The criteria to be considered are the usage, size, and weight. And then the common storage area It includes about non-food storage, cold storage, and dry storage. And then about the systematic approach for the equipment. As we know that in the back of the house, the equipments are usually expensive and heavy, and then so it should be well maintained for a long usage. Besides, it must be mounted or freestanding. While buying for the equipment, look for the equipment that has a good reputation and a proven performance record. Each piece should be multifunctional, simple to operate, easy to maintain, and energy efficient. And some experts suggest that the overall cost of your kitchen equipment should not exceed 1/3 of the total investment for the entire facility. And as for the workplace environment, so the first, temperature. The heat will affect the staff motivation, while the cold will affect the quality of the foods. So the proper temperature must be between 64 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. As for moisture, the kitchen area is always moist. It can affect the quality of the food. As for the air condition in the back of the house, is used to keep the kitchen not too hot and not too cold either, to make the staff feel more comfortable. Air ventilation. It is an equipment used to suck the smell in the kitchen. It is also used to suck the moisture that trapped in the kitchen air. And then as for the noise level, it is usually high due to the task. So it's very good to keep the noise level low to avoid being listened by the customers. And as for the lighting in the back of the house, it must be high. The lamp in the kitchen must be clear so that the staff can see what he or she doing without hurting themselves. As for the music, it is used to increase the staff motivation. As for the safety in the workplace, providing the training to the staff. This is to ensuring that they know about the procedure if anything happens suddenly in the kitchen. And the kitchen uniform they wear. The kitchen attire must be durable because it is important to do the heavy tasks. As for the floor, they should be using the non-slippery and durable floor covering. The tiles used need to be in these types to avoid accidents such as slippery. And then the guarding sharp edges. The sharp equipment such as knife must be well kept to avoid the staff getting hurt. And then waterproof electrical equipment. It must be in a good condition and then need to replace it when it's not functioning well. And then a good maintenance of the kitchen utilities and equipment. It must be checked regularly so that the job for the maintenance part will be much easier and it can be used for a longer time. And now we have proceeded to the layout of functional areas, which consists of 3: layout principle, principle of flow, and configuration. Well, for the layout principle, it consists of 2 steps, which is arranging individual pieces of equipment into a functional area. For example, one area may be developed for the function of Indian and tandoori preparations, or salad and sandwich preparation as a single unit. And then the second, arranging the functional areas into the entire operation, such as receiving, storing, pre-preparation, production, pot washing areas, and non-production areas. Both steps tends to occur at the same time in the designer's mind. The layout design must be considered in terms for the both stages. And then now, the principle of flow. Flow means moving from one stage of your cooking process to the next with as little space or friction between them. The layout should be provided for easy movement of the workers. It should provide for the smooth flow into and out of the workplace, and then prevent also the backtracking. The delays in movement of material should be minimized. So for the example, the work triangle. the line drawn from each the 3 primary workstations in the kitchen, such as the food storage, cooktop, like the preparation or cooking station, and sink, the cleanup station. Well, the sum of the ideal triangle is supposed to be between 15 to 22 feet, putting each of the 3 appliances within 2 or 3 steps of one another. And now we are looking at the configuration, which has the 5 basic layout patterns. So the first, single straight line arrangement. It is where everything is set against one wall, like you can see it's in a straight line. And then L-shaped arrangement. It is used when linear space is limited. So you can see the shape of it is like a L. And U-shaped arrangement. U-shaped arrangement, it provides the most flexible layout and is ideal for small areas. And now the fourth layout, which is parallel back-to-back arrangement. It centralizes the utility lines required for the equipment. As you can see, the equipment is like placing parallelly back to back. Sometimes a short wall is constructed between the 2 rows of the equipment. And then the last one is the parallel face-to-face arrangement. It utilizes 2 straight lines of the equipment and workplaces where the front face each other and are separated by an ASO space. It is like most commonly used in the back of the house. And then lastly, the ergonomics. It is to create a safer work environment by allowing employees to work as efficiently as possible. Second, matching the tools, physical settings, and equipment to each worker's specific needs. It includes the health and safety concerns involved with having scheduled shifts that tend to be longer than a normal workday. So, for an example, a kitchen designed around actions is taking place in the restaurant for a faster cooking. It doesn't always consider energy efficiency, since a fridge can be placed next to the fryer to maximize how quickly the fries can be made. And then the most important thing is make it user-friendly. And now we have reached to the conclusion. The physical facilities is important to a restaurant as it will affect the psychological needs and behavior of customers. At the end, it can also affect the profit of the business. Well, thank you for watching the video.